Welcome to Kashmir Life Interviews. Today we are joined by Provincial President of the National Conference, Devinder Singh Rana. We'll be talking to him about the political scenario in Jammu and Kashmir, more particularly in the Jammu division. Mr. Rana, welcome to Kashmir Life.
Thank you.
My question is on the Gupkar Declaration, not the alliance. There was a Gupkar Declaration, your party is a signatory to it. So now there is a Jammu Declaration you're talking about. What is it? Is it different from the Gupkar Declaration?
See, Jammu Declaration is an idea which primarily is an effort to come out with a narrative out of pluralistic Jammu, which is inclusive and represents all sections of the society, all regions of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and sub-regions of Jammu and Kashmir. Essentially, the Jammu Declaration is a declaration emanating out of Jammu, but the effort is that it should represent the aspirations of people of all regions, all religions of Jammu and Kashmir, and also facilitate a process of an intra-regional and inter-regional dialogue and address the fault lines that have come in between different regions, different religions in Jammu and Kashmir, different ethnicities in Jammu and Kashmir, between different sub-regions in Jammu and Kashmir, and an urgent need to relook at entire Jammu and Kashmir so that Jammu and Kashmir is restored to its pristine glory.
Does that mean that Gupkar Declaration did not encompass all these things?
The two are not competitive.
What is the need then? Is it mandated by your leadership?
The Jammu Declaration is essentially a declaration emanating out of Jammu for Jammu and Kashmir. So I think everybody should welcome this. It's for the first time probably in the last many years that an effort is being made to bring out a political narrative out of Jammu for the entire Jammu and Kashmir.
You dodged my question. Is it mandated by your leadership?
I think this is something that does not clash with politics at all, because I feel that I have been advocating that all political leaders of Jammu should keep the politics apart for a while, rise above party politics, keep the political ideologies in cold storage for a while, and come out with help each other. I don't even want the ownership of this. And I want everybody to take the ownership and come out with a way forward.
But isn't it like that it's creating a further wedge between Jammu and the valley?
How come?
Because there is a Gupkar Declaration emanating from Kashmir.
No.
And there is a Jammu Declaration emanating from here.
I think that could be an effort on the part of some friends in the media to do that. It has nothing to do. It is not competitive with the Gupkar, and it's not a Jammu Declaration versus a Kashmir.
But is it like National Conference is tacitly selling something here and not being, because they are not openly able to sell 370 in Jammu, so they are selling this Gupkar, this Jammu Declaration here?
No, not at all.
And what is it? What is the need of it?
There is a need. Jammu needs a political narrative, which should be not a narrative of exclusive narrative. It should be an inclusive narrative for Jammu and Kashmir. Why can't Jammu also raise a voice for entire Jammu and Kashmir? Why can't I have a feeling? This is my personal thought, and when I say personal, this is my personal thought as somebody belonging to the Jammu region, that Jammu and Kashmir is one, and we should not in Jammu look at Kashmir differently. We belong. Kashmir is as much as mine as yours. And why should I from Jammu look at Kashmir differently? And why should you from Kashmir look at me differently? Why can't I raise the voice to put all together and we all together sit down, put arms in arms, camaraderie between us all, and bridge the fault lines.
Why can't the Gupkar declaration or the Gupkar alliance do that?
This is a narrative. See, I think Gupkar declaration, I would not like to comment much because that Gupkar declaration, Dr. Farooq Abdullah would be the right man to discuss Gupkar declaration and talk about Gupkar.
I would come to the
But Gupkar
PhD.
declaration is something which came up under certain circumstances. And under those circumstances, it possibly could not take everybody along at that point of time because it was done, had to be done in a particular scenario and particular conditions. Jammu declaration is an effort to seek the opinion. We have not come out with a declaration. We are not throwing a declaration on anybody. It is an effort that all the Jammu political leaders must reach out to the entire Jammu and Kashmir population, the academia, the intellectuals, the intelligentsia, the political activists, the social activists, and evolve a consensus to show the road forward and the way forward. And that Jammu declaration is my belief can be a bridge between Jammu and Kashmir and the entire nation, and the pluralistic ethos, which unfortunately in Kashmir today does not exist. We have the advantage of a pluralistic ethos in Jammu and Kashmir, and with that pluralistic ethos, having known that Kashmiri Muslim is not communal, Kashmiri Muslim is not sectarian. We want that those apprehensions between the communities should end up and bring everybody together.
But is it like that Jammu leaders, barring the leaders with the BJP, don't have an issue left? That's why this Jammu declaration is coming in?
There's a need for a narrative from Jammu. Why can't Jammu have a political narrative?
So it's a political narrative for
It is
Jammu.
finally going to be a political narrative anyway.
Another narrative brewing in Jammu region from other parties, not from your party. It's about a separate statehood for the Jammu region only. Isn't it going to aid basically that only?
No, not at all. When you talk of statehood, that is exclusive narrative. You have to understand, we are making an effort to come out with a narrative from Jammu which is inclusive and representative of the entire Jammu and Kashmir.
Leaders inside the national conference have been targeting the PhD. So does NC want it to die because the PhD hasn't met since the DDC election results?
I will not comment on the PhD, and if at all I have to do any commentary on the PhD, it will be only with my leadership in the working committee.
Okay, you can dodge that question, sir. But on Umar Abdullah, he was released last year in March, in this month only last year. Where's he now?
He is very much here.
But he is not on the political landscape.
No, what makes you understand that?
Because he's nowhere to be seen.
What do you mean not to be seen?
Not to be seen as in we have not seen him going out, reaching out to the people like he should be, like other leaders are, like Farooq Saab is doing, like Mehbooba Mufti in the PhD is doing, like other parties which are basically fighting for the pre-August 5 position of Jammu and Kashmir.
Everything has a time and a space, and he's a politician. He knows when to strike and how.
Okay, there has been this debate around Jammu being discriminated over the years in terms of the number of seats in the Legislative Assembly. So now there's this delimitation commission. What are your expectations for Jammu? I'm not talking about Kashmir Valley.
Why do you only talk to me about Jammu?
Because you're the provincial president of this region.
No. I do not look at things that way. No, I look at my Jammu and Kashmir, and I feel Jammu is a part of Jammu and
You
Kashmir.
should be provincial president. You should not be the provincial president.
That's not all right. It's a responsibility
general
given to me
secretary.
by the party. But I don't look at my Jammu, your Kashmir. I look at our Jammu and Kashmir, and that is what Jammu narrative is going to be.
Have you taken this up? Have you propounded this idea in your party that there should be a Jammu declaration and you should back it?
I have appealed to all. And I don't say that this is my ownership. I have appealed to the BJP leadership of Jammu. I have appealed to the Congress leadership of Jammu. I have appealed to the PDP leadership of Jammu. I have appealed to the National Conference leadership of Jammu. I have appealed to the Panthers Party leadership of Jammu. I have also appealed to those groups which are absolutely not aligned with my political thought and ideology, that they should also come forward.
Has anybody responded in
Yes.
your own party and
Yes,
outside your
yes.
party?
Anybody, most of the people that I have talked to, I may not be able to disclose names, whether in the political circles or in the academia or the intelligentsia or the journalistic circles. It is evincing a lot of interest. A lot of people are talking to me. Some may not like to come into the forefront at this point of stage. At this stage of time, but there are most of the people who are very enthusiastic about it. And even from Kashmir, let me tell you on record, many people are looking forward to this kind of a narrative. And different people in Jammu feel that this narrative is the narrative for the way forward. When it emerges out of Jammu, it will be a narrative which will be a narrative which the nation will also possibly, because whether we like it or not, there are certain I would say, those smoke screens which have come up between Jammu and Kashmir and rest of the nation.
These political ideologies are to be kept aside.
I'm not saying keep it aside. I'm saying put all the political ideologies that exist on the table. Then find a roadway where we can have a consensus. Some can wait. Some can. We are on the crossroads of history, my dear. And Jammu and Kashmir is passing through a time when, if we do not find out of the box things for our own narrative, we talk of international narratives, we talk of other narratives, but I think there's a big need that intra-regional and inter-region narrative has to be built.
Do you
Jammu and Kashmir
blame
together.
for this divide you're talking
All
about?
of us.
All of us, including the National Conference?
All of us. Anybody who has been in politics in Jammu and Kashmir, all of us, whether for a little time or a longer time, nobody can take the blame on. And it's not only the politicians. It is you, the journalists also. It is you, the academia also. Or it is also the social activists. All of us must take the blame. There is, if today the things are happening, I can't just say that you are the one to be responsible. I just can't say he's the one to be responsible. We are all responsible. How can we shed the responsibility?
Is it like that this declaration might turn political someday? It might become a new political party? Are you hinting towards that?
No.
You deny that?
I'm not getting into any politics of this. There is no politics. It's a very dangerous moment, let me tell you, in the history. On record with Kashmir Life, I am telling you today that time has come. These issues must be addressed and the fault lines addressed. If the fault lines are not addressed, we are looking at, if we don't look at the inter-regional fault lines, if we don't look at the intra-regional fault lines, we are creating a problem which will be not possible to be addressed. So it is our responsibility. I have made an effort. It may succeed, may not succeed, but it will be my earnest effort, and above all politics, I feel it is my duty, and I will play that duty.
So on these District Development Council elections which were recently held, National Conference hasn't done that good in Jammu. In Pir Panjal and in Chenab Valley districts, there's a fight with BJP at least on the equal number. They have also done well. You have also succeeded. Congress has won. But in other districts of Jammu, barring these Chenab Valley and Pir Panjal, why isn't National Conference able to win?
National Conference, before the election started, I had predicted, as the election process had just started, and one of the channels was talking to me, I said at the end of the election results, you will find that in Jammu province, there will be only two flags, the BJP and the National Conference. And that prediction of mine has come out true. At the end of the election, there are only two flags, the BJP and the National Conference. And, pardon my saying that, I should not be possibly saying it, even in the plains, where the Congress has been competing with the BJP, it is the National Conference, whether it is Jammu or Samba, we have kept the flag high. In Riyasi, the Vice Chairman is supported by us. So we have kept the flag high.
So my question is on 370, Article 370. a lot of people have been talking that a lot of bad things would happen to Jammu and Kashmir, be it the economy, be it the lands, be it the domicile for the jobs and all. So what has happened in Jammu? Do you see it something bad has happened in Jammu? Are people at the receiving end post its
See,
application?
370 is sub judice, and it's not proper for me to comment about it at this point of time. And our legal team is working
My
on it.
point is
That
not on the
No,
abrogation.
that's one. That's one. Second part, you said what impact it's going to have on Jammu and Kashmir. I strongly feel that Jammu and Kashmir, the land and the employment opportunities should stay for the state subjects of Jammu and Kashmir. And there's nothing wrong in that. We had it, we must have it. We had that kind of a protection. That protection must stay with us. If Haryana yesterday has announced that even in the private sector, 75% of the jobs will be reserved for Haryanvis. Where is the wrong in asking for 100% reservation for government jobs in Jammu and Kashmir? Where does it make us anti-national about it? We are a part of the union. Some people now say that we are now part of the country. But I know, and people like me have always believed that we are Indians. We are a part of India. Why do you say we have now become Indians? We are Indians. We were born Indians. We will be Indians. We will die as Indians. So it is not that after the abrogation we have become Indians.
National Conference and all other political parties which have been power prior to 2014, or even after when BJP came to power in the state, in the erstwhile state, have criticized this communication blockade, the 4G internet, the communication blockade post August 5. But the National Conference government in 2010, headed by Umar Abdullah, did the same. The SMS, the prepaid phones were banned. They were around 20 lakh. So hasn't the BJP taken cue from you guys only?
See, one thing I'll make clear, that temporary bans for the situations are local law and order issues decided by the local
BJP
magistrate.
has been given saying the same thing.
But wait a minute, it's been for 2 years. What is the justification? You mean to say that the situation was so bad for 2 years? But in any case, now let's move forward. Now the 4G is back. Let's move forward.
You have been blaming the BJP. Everybody, not you personally. Every party has been blaming BJP for this blackout, for this curbs on the internet.
I'll make it one thing clear. I said all of us are to be blamed for where we are today. I said it. It is all of us. So you can't say that just one person or the other person is to be blamed. And so far as the situation that has arisen, history will stand testimony that not all decisions taken today, whether those decisions are right or wrong, history will decide.
So NC has decided to be not part of the delimitation commission, citing that the reorganization bill which has been brought in, under which this is being done, is already sub judice in court. So you've decided to not be part of it. Would you not fight the assembly elections?
See,
then?
I have my own opinions about the whole question, and those opinions I will articulate in the working committee meeting, and I will not articulate to Kashmir Life.
Thank you on that. In terms of this declaration you talked about, would it include 370, the demand for 370? Because does the people of Jammu, it has been portrayed like as if the Jammu people don't want Article 370.
I am not suggesting what is to be the content of the declaration. I have asked for everybody to give their opinion. We'll put all the opinions together and then put all of the people together and then try to evolve a consensus. Can't we look at a healthy consensus amongst us in Jammu and Kashmir? We all belong to Jammu and Kashmir. Is it disputed? You belong to Jammu and Kashmir. I belong to Jammu and Kashmir. Or Kashmir belongs to Kashmir only and Jammu belongs to Jammu only.
My point is not that. But
Kashmir,
what I'm asking,
Kashmir belongs to me.
It has been portrayed that
Jammu
only
belongs
the
to
people
you.
of
So we are all a
Kashmir
part of
want
Jammu and
Article
Kashmir.
370.
We all
Article
will.
370 was basically brought in for the whole of Jammu and Kashmir.
So we will discuss that also. That will also
Is it
come
like
up.
the people of Jammu don't want it?
Who said that?
I'm asking you.
See, that is where I am coming to, that we will all sit down, take all opinions.
Why is BJP able to win in Jammu? Why are people voting for them?
I think more because of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I'll be very honest and candid about it, that people in the Jammu Plains, the parliamentary election was more of a presidential form of election. People voted for the Prime Minister of India and not the local candidates, because the local leadership of BJP, I don't think inspires the people of Jammu. But yes, the somebody may like it or not, but the Prime Minister has a definite image among the people. In the plains, it is purely and purely a vote for the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, and not for the BJP or the local
Why
leadership.
was the PAGD not able to counter it? Did they campaign enough in Jammu? Because I did not see the PAGD campaign.
See,
the top leadership
did not campaign anywhere. They left it for the local leadership to campaign. Campaign was done.
The statehood has been in politics in Jammu and Kashmir. For the whole of Jammu and Kashmir, statehood is being demanded. Some are saying that the loss was much higher post August 5. So, is statehood enough for Jammu and Kashmir, or do we need more, like protection in jobs, or maybe 370? Some people are even propounding that.
See, I said that protection of jobs and protection of land is our right, and that right should be restored to us for sure. That right has been bequeathed on many states and many stakeholders, and so that is our right. So far as the statehood is concerned, we were a state. The most important state in terms of geopolitical stature and in terms of our own identity. We were the most strongest state important state in the country. To be a union territory is not a happy note anyway. So statehood must come. There is no way why there should be no statehood. So statehood is not that we are bargaining for the statehood. Statehood is our state. Maharaja Gulab Singh carved the state.
The BJP has promised it. The Home Minister has promised it.
And we from a state have become a union territory.
The Home Minister has promised it on the floor of the House.
So we are now
promise is
we are
going to
now
be eventually
we are
fulfilled.
now Yawar Saab a part of the central government. We were a state. So I don't think statehood is something for asking. Statehood is our state has to be with us. So yes, so far as other protections are concerned, Jammu and Kashmir, those protections need to be there in Jammu and Kashmir, and they have to be there.
So a lot of leaders have
They get
so far
as 370 was concerned, over the years, a lot of things had been taken out of 370. And 35.
by your governments also.
All governments. See, I am not trying to. You are bringing me down to, what you are trying to do. You are trying to.
I'm basically trying to
You are
remind
trying
you
to.
that National Conference was part of it.
No. You are trying to pin
We
me.
once had a Prime Minister.
No.
Sheikh Saab signed the accord.
No. Wait a minute. Sheikh Saab signed which accord? The instrument
Indira.
of accession. Wait a minute.
Indira
The instrument of accession was signed by the
By the
Maharaja with the Union of India.
Exactly.
Number one. Number two, 53, you forget. And a lot of changes in the constitution and Article 370 happened post 53, when Sheikh Saab was nowhere in the picture. Sheikh Saab was behind bars. So let's not get into that. If I get into that, there's a long
Sheikh
history.
Saab was
again.
released and he signed the accord.
No. Then, as you move on, lot of water had flown in the river Jhelum and Tavi till 1975. And things had changed till 1975. And what happened after 1975? What happened in 84? What happened in 87, 89? All that has to be taken into account to understand the history of what has happened today. What happened in 90? What happened in 96? So that's another subject for some other time.
When would we see this Jammu declaration?
I have started the effort. It's just the beginning of the effort. And you people are running after me to shut that effort. When you put it, Jammu Declaration versus PAGD,
I am basically
Jammu
asking
versus
you,
Kashmir.
because your party already has a
Don't talk
declaration.
about Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu, why can't a narrative of Jammu and Kashmir come out of Jammu? I want to make an effort that narrative of Jammu and Kashmir must emerge out of Jammu,
Because
which
your party did get a declaration from they emanated it from Kashmir. Now one is emanating from Jammu. That is why we are questioning it. Because if your party had emanated it from Jammu, we would not have been questioning you.
देखिए मेरी बात सुनिए. Why do you always want Jammu to fight with Kashmir?
We don't want it.
So if
Your
there
party is fighting.
I would
Your
not
party
even
is
I would
fighting.
not even mind if there is a Kathua declaration. If Kathua decides that I have to work for entire Jammu and Kashmir and they come out with a narrative, where is the problem?
That is what
that
is my point.
I am trying to put all narrative. I am
That is
saying
my
Jammu
point.
declaration tomorrow should be a narrative which respects and respects and incorporates all aspirations of all regions, religions of the people. It is my idea, which I have thrown to the people. I'm a small, humble political worker and resident of Jammu. I have put across an idea for the people to discuss. Where's the harm? We are political entities. It's not my party's idea. And it's not, I'm not representing the party when I'm talking on this. This is my idea. I have the ownership of this idea till the time
Does that mean your party does not associate with the idea?
I have asked, does my party, what is the embryo of National Conference? The embryo of National Conference is Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Ithat. I am working on that. The embryo of National Conference is Jammu and Kashmir to its pristine glory, and that's what I am working on.
So is it mandated by them?
It has not been objected by anybody till now either, because after all, ours is a very democratic party, and nobody ever has stopped me in the party, particularly the leadership, ever to talk about Jammu, to talk about Kishtwar, to talk about Doda, to talk about Rajouri, to talk about Kathua. All along in my political career within the party, I have been talking about Jammu aspirations. I have been talking about other regions also, sub-regions also. Nobody has stopped me. Nobody has even stopped me to talk about Kashmir, because I do not feel that Kashmir doesn't belong to me. If somebody feels that Kashmir doesn't belong to me and feels that it's their ownership, God be with them. But I feel Jammu and Kashmir belongs to me. I belong to Jammu and Kashmir. If somebody feels with a constrained mind that Kashmir belongs to them and Jammu belongs to me, so be it. For me, Jammu and Kashmir is my state. I belong to Jammu and Kashmir. Each part of Jammu and Kashmir is my part. I am a part of Jammu and Kashmir. And young people like you and young people from Jammu, you must take this narrative forward with open minds, because the cobwebs in our minds of these elderly people like us have to be broken, decongested, and the cobwebs in our mind have so much
There are a
created.
lot of cobwebs.
Yeah,
We would
absolutely.
require a lot of time.
Jammu narrative
We
will
would
work.
require a lot of
Jammu
time.
narrative is not something. Jammu declaration is not something which is going to come overnight. It's going to be a consistent, long-term effort to ensure that we break all the cobwebs.
So it won't be like the PhD.
Why can't the cobwebs?
It won't be a silent thing like the PhD is now.
I would not comment about PhD at all. That's one part of the narrative, and many parties have come together. Why should I comment about PhD? I have propounded an idea. When I said repeatedly, I'm saying in this interview, it's not my ownership. I have propounded an idea. People are talking about this idea. Hindus are talking, Muslims are talking. I talked to the Hindu religious leaders. They welcomed it. I talked to the Kashmiri Muslim religious leaders. They welcomed it. There was recently a Sikh conference. I talked to them. They welcomed it. I talked to people of Kashmir, important people who matter. I'm not talking of only politics, because politicians, I'm not saying. But I've talked to the academy and intellectuals in Kashmir. They welcomed it. They all feel that if a narrative comes from pluralistic Jammu, it will have a far-reaching, overreaching effect. Why can't I take the lead? I means Jammu. Take the lead to bridge the gap. Why can't I bring Kashmir closer to me? Why can't I bring Jammu and Kashmir closer to Delhi? Why can't I be the bridge? And the reality being, it's a Muslim dominated state with about 70%. If this narrative emanates out of Jammu, and if the minority community also talks about the majority community, and the majority community of Jammu talks about the minority community, it will be really an example of secularism and communal harmony for the entire country. And I think that could set the tone. You are underestimating Jammu Declaration. Jammu Declaration could set the narrative.
Because you have not yet come out with it. How can I underestimate it?
I have not come out.
How can
I have just
underestimate
propounded the idea that all should come.
How can I underestimate
Because I don't feel that a narrative should come out which is done in a hodgepodge manner or a quick manner. It requires discussion, dialogue, debate, and that dialogue process is going on. It's not overnight. Otherwise, I could have written a draft of 2,000 words, 2,500 and given out. That could be my idea. No, it's not my idea. I've moved an idea where I'm getting all on board. And I've said that if somebody wants to take the ownership, so be it. They take the ownership. I'm not important. I matter nowhere. I don't matter at all. We are for a bigger cause. And the bigger cause is Jammu and Kashmir. A better Jammu and Kashmir, a better India, where everyone feels empowered. Any religion, any community, empower each one. I am for empowerment of each member of Jammu and Kashmir. And that's what I'm working at. It might sound to you very, very philosophical, but then things do happen. Cobwebs have to be broken, things have to be taken a lead. Let us work with a fresh mind, pure mind, and with the correct, clear intent of looking at Jammu and Kashmir in a better way. And let's not get constrained into minor loopholes, because those loopholes create problems.
On that note, I would thank you so much.